we have a team of the tallest players in the NFL going up against a team of the shortest players in the NFL. The tallest team will be the New York Giants, and they will consist of the tallest players at each position. As for the shortest team, they will be the Arizona Cardinals, and their roster will include the shortest players at each position. To add a twist to this video, each team will be allowed to bring in 3 former NFL players to help their team. And we will be spinning this wheel to see which challenges they need to face off in, and the first team to win 3 challenges will be crowned the champion. Starting with the tallest team's roster, Justin Herbert leads the way at quarterback, being 6'6". Trevor Lawrence is also 6'6", so he'll back Herbert up. At running back, they have Derrick Henry, who is the tallest running back at 6'3", with Latavius Murray and Cordero Patterson joining him. The tallest wide receiver that's ever played in the NFL is Harold Carmichael, standing at 6'8". He is going to be an incredible red zone threat. Joining him will be Mike Evans, DK Metcalf, Alan Lazard, A.T. Perry, and Equanimeous St. Brown. As for the tallest tight ends in the NFL, Darnell Washington, Jelani Woods, and Donald Parham tower over the rest of the NFL. And finally, at offensive line, we have Jonathan Ogden, Tyler Smith, Mitch Morse, Trey Smith, and then 6'8" Trent Brown. Moving on to the defense, the tallest edge rusher to ever play in the NFL is Ed Too Tall Jones, who played at 6'9". Joining him at defensive end is Calais Campbell, Aiden Hutchinson, and Dietrich Wise Jr. And as for defensive tackle, DeForest Buckner is 6'7", and he will lead the way with Chris Jones and Raekwon Davis backing him up. Keeping this moving, Joey Bosa and Anthony Nelson are the tallest left outside linebackers, while Josh Allen and Amari Barno lead the way at right outside linebacker. At middle linebacker, Tremaine Edmonds, Jack Campbell, and Drew Sanders are all 6'5". The secondary will be led by Tariq Woolen, who is the tallest cornerback in the NFL currently, with Sauce Gardner, Benjamin St. Juste, Julius Brents, and Joshua Williams filling out the remaining spots at cornerback. And at safety, I'm excited to add 6'4" Kyle Hamilton and J. Ron Kurse at strong safety, while Ifiatu Melifonu and Israel Mukiamu will play free safety. I definitely messed up pronouncing those names, and I'm sorry for that. Daniel Carlson and Logan Cook are the tallest kicker and punter currently in the NFL. They will be taking on the shortest team led by Kyler Murray at quarterback. And although he's only 5'10", he has plenty of speed to get outside the pocket when needed. Bryce Young is also 5'10", and he will join Kyler as a backup quarterback. As for the shortest running back to play in the NFL, Darren Sproles will be the starter since he was 5'6" while he played, with Devin Singletary, Jalen Warren, and Deuce Vaughn joining him. Now, moving on to the shortest wide receivers in the NFL, we have Tyreek Hill leading the way, standing at 5'10", with Zay Flowers, Marquise Brown, Rondale Moore, and Deontay Hardy closing out that receiver core. At tight end, I'm bringing in Shannon Sharp, and although he wasn't the shortest tight end to ever play, he is definitely one of the best at 6'2". Joining him will be Irv Smith Jr. and Connor Hayward. And to close up the offense, we have Rashawn Slater, Isaiah Wynn, Tyler Linderbaum, Shaq Mason, and Mike Onwenu. The shortest player on the defensive side of the ball is Mark McMillian. He might not be a familiar name to most of you, but he was the shortest quarterback to play in the NFL at 5'7" with the nickname Mighty Mouse. Joining him at cornerback is Jair Alexander, Kenny Moore, Darius Williams, and DJ Reed. As for the shortest safeties in the NFL, we have Buda Baker and Ugo Amadi as strong safety, while Antoine Winfield and Tyrann Mathieu will play free safety. Moving to the linebackers now, we have Nick Bolton and David Long Jr., who are only 5'11" at middle linebacker, with Devin Bush, Malcolm Rodriguez, Trey Greenlaw, and Quincy Williams at outside linebacker. The shortest players on the D-line include Aaron Donald at 6'1", Brady Jarrett, Hassan Reddick, and Kalijah Tansey at defensive end, with Michael Pierce and Kalen Saunders at defensive tackle. Both Carol Santos and Ryan Stonehouse are the shortest kicker and punter in the NFL currently. Getting the wheel to see what the first challenge is going to be, and it lands on wide receiver defensive back battle. 3 receivers on each team go one-on-one with the opposing team's best corner. I would have to assume the tallest team would have an advantage here with their height, and on the shortest team's first attempt, Tyreek Hill beats Sauce Gardner off the line and somehow hangs onto the pass from Kyler Murray for the first touchdown. On their very next attempt, Kyler Murray steps back and launches it way too far, failing to pick up their second touchdown. Next up is Zay Flowers, and on his first attempt, he goes all the way around Sauce Gardner and is able to make that catch and keep his speed in bounds. On the very next play, Zay Flowers completely beats Sauce Gardner off the line, with Sauce able to use his height to knock the ball out. Marquise Brown has 2 attempts, and on his first, he is able to make the catch and hang on to it. On team shortest last attempt, Brown gets some separation, but Kyler ends up underthrowing the pass. The shortest team were able to score 3 touchdowns on 6 attempts. Justin Herbert and the tallest team are up next, and on their first attempt, he is able to connect with Harold Carmichael for an easy touchdown. On their very next attempt, Carmichael is able to run right by Jair Alexander and makes a great catch to pick up their second touchdown. Mike Evans is up next, and he is able to get by Alexander and reach out for the touchdown catch. On his second attempt, Herbert throws it a little early, and Jair Alexander is able to knock the ball free. The tallest team just needs one more touchdown to win the opening challenge, and on DK Metcalf's first attempt, he runs right through Jair Alexander and makes a leaping catch for the touchdown. The tallest team ends up with 4 touchdowns to win the wide receiver defensive back challenge. And after spinning the wheel once again, it ends up landing on the kick return challenge. Both teams will get 5 attempts each to accumulate as many yards as possible. The tallest team will start first since they won the last challenge, and Cordero Patterson receives a kickoff, going straight up the middle for a gain of 23 yards. On his next attempt, he tries the same thing and gets tackled by the punter for 24 yards. Last attempt for Patterson, and he once again goes straight up the middle before being body slammed to the ground, picking up 24 yards for a total of 71 yards so far. Mike Evans is up next, and he gets a slow start, going straight up the middle, only picking up 21 yards. On his very last attempt, he once again goes up the middle, stiff-arming one defender before being brought down after picking up 30 yards for a grand total of 122 yards. Tyreek Hill is up first for the shortest team, and he goes straight up the middle for a nice gain of 23 yards. And after receiving the ball from his end zone, Tyreek Hill once again takes up the middle for another 23 yards. And on his last attempt, Tyreek Hill fakes out a defender, and he is able to pick up 32 yards for a total of 78 yards so far. Darren Sproles is up next, and on his first attempt, he is able to rush his way through a bunch of traffic, picking up 33 yards. One last attempt here, Sproles takes the kickoff and heads up the field, looking right and picking up 28 yards for a total of 139 yards, which is good enough for the shortest team to win the kick return challenge. Spinning the wheel for the 3rd time, and it lands on the franchise simulation challenge. Each team will be awarded 1 point for every regular season win, 2 points for each playoff win, 3 points for a Super Bowl win, and then 1 point for every yearly award won. The team with the most points after the season will win the franchise challenge. Simming all the way to the end of the season, the tallest team ended up winning 14 games this season, earning themselves 14 points so far, while the shortest team ended up winning 13 games, earning themselves 13 points. Pretty close so far, as the shortest team have to take on the Eagles in the first round, but they can take the lead here with a win. Unfortunately for them, they ended up losing to the Eagles 24-21, but they can still score some more points on yearly awards potentially. And after simming all the way to the Super Bowl, the tallest team ended up defeating the Eagles and then the Vikings, earning themselves another 4 points, bringing their total up to 18 points. Winning the Super Bowl would go a long way, and after simming the game, the tallest team ended up winning by 6 points, bringing their total up to 21 points. And as for yearly awards, they also won Coach of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year. And just like that, the tallest team win the Franchise Simulation Challenge and now lead 2-1. Moving on to challenge number 4, and it's going to be the Passing Skeleton minigame. Whichever team finishes with the most points will win this challenge. Starting with the tallest team, Justin Herbert was able to connect with Harold Carmichael for the first catch. On the next play, he gets it to DK Metcalf over the middle, who breaks a tackle and gets into the end zone. Herbert was throwing some really nice passes, and with 29 seconds left, Harold Carmichael was wide open for a touchdown. Up to 7,900 points, Herbert throws it underneath the Harold Carmichael, but it gets knocked out, losing the multiplier. The rest of the round did not go very well, dropping multiple passes and finishing with a total of 8,187 points. Kyler Murray and the shortest team just need more than 8,200 points to win this challenge, and it starts off with a nice pass over the middle to Hollywood Brown. Murray goes right back to Brown in the end zone, and this is a great start. Kyler was throwing some great passes, and with 30 seconds left, Murray finds Brown in the end zone once again. They are flying, and on the next play, Brown beats his defender and is wide open for another touchdown. With the next pass getting them over 8,200 points, Kyler did not stop and kept his foot on the gas. With 4 seconds left, Kyler hits Brown once again, and they finish with 18,196 points, which was good enough to win the Passing Skeleton Challenge and tying the competition at 2. After spinning the challenge wheel one last time, it ends up landing on a head-to-head matchup. It all comes down to this one last challenge, and the winner will be crowned champions of this competition. It was only fitting to play for the Super Bowl. The game started with Kyler Murray keeping it for himself and picking up a solid game for the shortest team. Darren Sproles decided to run to the outside and failed to convert on 3rd down. On the tallest team's opening possession, Derrick Henry ran over the smaller defenders, picking up 14 yards. A couple plays later, Herbert throws a nice pass to Mike Evans, who breaks off one tackle and is off to the races. He goes 62 yards for the first touchdown of the game. The tallest team ends up getting the ball right back, and Justin Herbert fights off a sack, throwing a beam to Mike Evans over the middle. He then keeps it for himself and runs straight up the middle to extend the lead to 14. This is looking real bad for the shortest team, but Darren Sproles was able to bounce off a few defenders before getting his team into scoring position. Kyler Murray then hikes the ball, rolls out, throws it off his back foot, and connects with Tyreek Hill in the end zone to cut the lead in half. The rest of the first half ended with both teams trading touchdowns. The tallest team still leads by 7. Late in the third quarter, the tallest team were able to move down the field, and on second down, Herbert connected with Mike Evans, and then on the next play, Henry is able to dive into the end zone, giving the tallest team a 14-point lead. On 3rd and 10, Tyler failed to get out of the pocket, taking a huge sack. They elected to go for it on 4th down. Tyler sits in the pocket and throws the ball downfield where Hollywood Brown is there to make the catch. A couple plays later, Darius Sproles takes the handoff and takes it the rest of the way for a touchdown, cutting the lead back down to 7. After punting the ball back to the shortest team, they have a chance to tie this one up. Faced with a 3rd down, Tyler launches the ball downfield, but he overthrows his receiver. 4th and 10, Tyler hikes the ball and throws a laser down the field, but it gets knocked out. And the tallest team were able to close out the game, winning the head-to-head matchup, and more importantly, win the entire competition by a score of 3 challenge wins, the shortest teams 2. I guess height does matter in the NFL, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to go check out the most loved team of all time versus the most hated team of all time. I'm sure you'll enjoy that one. It's right over here. Go check it out.